love and marriage,
love and marriage,
love and marriage.
go together like a carabao and track. This I tell you, brother, you can't have one without the other. Love and marriage,
Love and marriage,
love and marriage,
love and marriage.
it's a life you can't get rid of. The local Filipinos here and they will say is elementary. Try to separate them. It's an illusion. Try, and you will only come to this conclusion. Love and marriage,
Love and marriage,
love and marriage,
love and marriage.
go together like a carabao and trike. This I tell you, brother, you can't have one without the other. Life isn't easy with Heidi,
Heidi,
American wife,
so uptight,
so uptight.
so uptight.
George tries but sometimes cries, but they love each other. You cannot deny married life like no other. Love and marriage,
Love and marriage,
love and marriage,
love and marriage.
go together like a carabao and trike. This I tell you, brother, you can't have one without the other. Love and marriage, love and marriage, love and marriage.
Good morning. Let's see what is going on. Let's see, I guess we should move this. Good morning, guys. Look what the cat drug in.
Morning, guys. How are you guys doing today?
Look who didn't fall down the stairs.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the last couple lives, Benjamin helping your uncle, and you spend time over at the family house, as I tell him, there was all kinds of jokes the last time about, your survival. I said, if George doesn't show up like 5 or 6 different live streams in a row, then you guys should worry. So,
Wait, what?
well, I'm just going to hire somebody in, whether you like it or not. I'm just going to start hiring in. Going to do like some of those talk shows where they bring in the co-host, or I'm just going to bring it in. You did see Gio changed his name?
Well, the crew wouldn't know. I mean, our viewers wouldn't know because we all look alike. So.
Pretty much. I'm just going to replace you with another Pogie truck driver. Oh. Good morning, Magadan Omaga. Studio line, bitch. And guys, today it'll be very interesting story. Stick around. We have footage of the most famous homeless guy that is in the slums of Makati, and he lived in America forever and got deported. We also have an update on, I think his name's Raj, the American that is in the Manila area. He's got his temporary passport. He's on his way out. We're going to discuss, he's probably going to go from homeless to being homeless in America. Is it any better? And so also we'll just be discussing like the balance of the homelessness in America and here and the other thing. So I said that I would cover this later. We do have clips. We also, Jojo, the homeless guy that's been covered by tons of vloggers over the years. He is, to give you guys an idea, he's a guy that's been homeless for about 12 years. He had a hard time in America, was homeless over there, in and out of correctional facilities, substance use and abuse. And this guy, in my opinion, is still in the same boat. But we will be showing you content where, to me, it looks like he's living underground. And it'll be very interesting, the stuff we'll be showing today. So we have like photos. It shows him at different stages of where he's been doing content with people. And then we have footage of him, like where they're living underground, pirating electricity. Stick around for it. So it'll be an interesting topic today for sure. So,
Did you say butt pirate?
you wish. You wish. I don't know why it seems like you need some more light on you. You're
What?
looking awful dark over there. Been out in the sun.
I am dark. I'm a very dark person.
Right? You definitely are dark. Good morning, Sarah. I want to say good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Victoria is in the house. Good morning,
Morning,
Heidi,
guys.
George, Philippine Antics crew. And we want to say thank you. Our second channel did officially get monetized. So we do have another one. We're running the live streams and we put like pet videos and everything on it. We'll probably put the link to it again. But thanks to everybody watching. It did get monetized. It just means another can of cat food for George. More coffee. So another dollar, another day. Welcome to
Right?
the Philippines. It's true. I discussed that in the last live stream about how monetization was cut in half about a year or two ago, and it's mostly just you know, it's nice. It's just nice because it's progress from the hard work that George puts in, I do, and the different things. But we just love that you guys are our people. Say
Thank you,
thank you.
guys. Thank you for your support.
Thank you for being our people. That's our new slogan. Thank you for being our people. All state. What? Just kidding. Thank you for being our people. Thank you for being our friends. I'm not talking to you, punk. I'm talking to my friends.
I guess Heidi's
Thank
talking about
you
her
for
age.
being
You
our
know, Golden
people.
Girls.
And Did you watch Golden Girls? Don't you even lie, fool. You don't like Golden Girls?
Why do you think I know this song?
Well, I think the whole world does, probably. Probably even
Set.
these underground
Wait,
neighborhoods.
wait, wait, wait. Hold on. Who's alive? Only what's her Betty White is
No.
left.
Is Betty White still alive? I thought she passed away.
Oh, then nobody's gone. Everybody's gone.
It could be.
No. Everybody died until Betty White. So if Betty White's gone, then everybody's gone.
Hey, Geo, see, we were just talking about Geo. Hey,
Hey,
what's
Gio, how
up?
you doing, man?
See, Geo on the go.
All right, Gio on the go.
Geo under Heidi was supposed to be the new
All right, now I have to look it up.
name.
Is Betty White gone? I don't think she is.
I thought Betty White
There's
passed
no
away.
way.
Pretty sure she did, but I could be wrong.
She's the last one standing.
Hmm. All right, well, let's just get into some of the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she did. She passed away 4 years ago. I think
Yeah.
they're all gone now.
I
But it
remember.
was
I
still
remember
a
her
hilarious
feeding
show.
that croc. She was feeding
Oh,
the
you're talking
croc.
about that movie, the
Yeah.
scary movie. So, good morning, vlogging life, and MB in the house. Good morning. Good morning. All right, guys. So let's get into this for those that are rewatching, so I can like caption some of this that is actually going on. So forgive me if I'm just downright bluntly honest as this guy is. Okay, because he is called the TikTok famous uh, Filipino. He is Filipino, but he's lived in America forever. He got deported. Okay. So that's where we start with this. Jojo's been homeless for about 12 years. Basically, he lived on the street for many years when he got here. He said he went out to the province, his grandmother passed away, is his story. And he came back to the city. And as you can see, there's his name is somewhere in there. Where does it say Jojo? But anyways, his name's like he writes it on the wall, and like that was his area. So basically, all the vloggers the last couple years has seeked him out there to be a guide, and of course, he discussed, and I'm sure of it, that it's dealing somewhere along the lines of substances and women because sure seems to know about all of this. Plus, he guides them around and stuff, and they do content on him. So they also buy up food and hand things out, which is lesson number one. Do not do slum vlogging. We'll show you why. And it's just bad business. It's bad how they actually even got away. What you looking at? You looking at photos or the area?
No, those lines on the ground.
Their poles, or probably because the photo was redone, but I think they look like metal bars. They're building. It looks like a bunch of rebarb or something. So, but anyways, just different photos of him with different vloggers. There he is with a different look. Looks like he lost one of his teeth. I shouldn't. So, in this section, it freaked the vlogger out. Like I said, I think he's got a 500,000 subscribers or something. And matter of fact, this looks like our trike, by the way. I'm pretty sure that is our model, pretty much.
No, it's an ESRV.
Okay. So technically, I could see two Filipinos sitting on the back. That's pretty much, or just Heidi. Be honest, it's one big American on the back. Okay. And so they jump on. Okay. And then somebody hangs off the side of it and he's afraid it's going to tip over. It was kind of hilarious. But all right. So just trying to give you an idea. The places that we're going to show you here in a little bit is Barangay Tanoid. Okay, it is near the Makati area, and we're going to give you guys a little bit of the regular guy scene. Here we go. So there I was going to see my girlfriend,
Oh,
but she didn't
LBC.
expect me. Hold on. Oh, can you do a good regular guy impression? Okay, let me try. But she was really surprised when I showed up with flowers and candy, you know? And but what I really wanted to do was eat her candy. But she wouldn't let me eat her candy, but she wanted me to pay her to clean my sink. Oh, look at there. Do they have some lumpia? That looks like somebody's lumpia. Okay, well, let me show you a little further down the line where it's a little cheaper to get it there. Oh, wait a minute. What's this? Oh, wait a minute. All right. Booyah. There's my last girlfriend. Nope, that's not her. Where is she? Oh, I can't find her. Okay. So basically, let me stop while I'm ahead. What I'm trying to show you guys is this is the
He's
area,
just saying, right?
right? This is an ideal of once you go inside these buildings. Some of them are abandoned inside. Some of them are owned by somebody, and they divide it off into like 50 different areas. And I will show you some footage of the inside of this here in a little bit. Maybe we can find regular girl's old girlfriend. But this is the area where he's been living, give or take. Where are you disappearing to again? Can I have some coffee, please? So, all right, it's kind of hard for me to do both. So, the deal is with this guy, 12 years homeless. He'd been in and out of jails, as I said, cases of possession, something about some cocaine, a couple 5 years in prison, in and out of jails. Well, immigration finally got a hold of him and deported. And then he comes back here and he becomes homeless. And we have live footage of this here in a few minutes. And that's something I wanted to show you guys. When somebody takes a shower or it rains in the Manila area or other areas and they're all living in these homes, there are people paying 5,000-6,000 pesos over there in their places, or they can barely keep the electricity hooked up inside of it. But this place, they pay rent in, by the way.
Oh yeah.
But every time it rains, whether it's owned by the person or not, I posted something on Facebook. You'll have to take a look. You probably haven't seen it. It's showing where recently the police and the squatters are fighting. They claim they did have a title, or the owner did. They said no. Literally, the people living in there were throwing rocks at the heads of the PNP, which is not a good idea. So not in this country, anyways. I mean, but there was a big fight with them recently, and you do get a lot of the squatting here, and you will get where people don't own. That's why we tell the expats, do not build extra rooms onto houses. Do not go building on land because somebody said, go ahead and do it situation, because there's been several of these expat vloggers that have been hit by, oh, the land was never ours to begin with. And so, yeah.
Yeah, and also be aware that again, it doesn't mean that okay, if there's four corners and a roof, in all probability you're gonna pay rent. It doesn't matter whether that land belongs to anybody or nobody. If you live under a bridge, literally, if there's four corners, that means you're gonna pay somebody rent. So I'm just gonna let you know right now. You're like, wait a minute, nobody owns a bridge. Exactly, correct. But because there's four corners, that means somebody paid
Yes,
materials to build that structure.
like this,
You're gonna
where
pay
he's
rent.
living. Right.
Correct.
So Nobody really owns most of this is squatted. He already admitted in here in front of people that this is stolen electricity, and he said it on camera. The footage we're going to show you in a few minutes will actually be where the vlogger himself was told to get the F out for good reasons. They don't want people down there recording and stuff. And so he's going on about how he survives and basically what he's considering a good life. But then shortly down the line on the video, he'll go on about, yeah, but don't leave nothing here. Everything gets stolen right away. Or if you bring food in, people are all over you with the food. And I mean, they're like people everywhere. They're up in the shafts and they put kids up inside there. I just couldn't believe. I mean, I've seen some shit. I've been homeless twice myself. Okay. I've been, I've been there out in the Ozarks. I've seen some hillbilly shit. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I've seen some rigged stuff, but this is about as most rigged as I've actually seen. So it's something to see. And you guys seen? I wanted to show you where they had the washer under there. Like they've got air cons down there. Like they're air conditioning down there. They run all these fans. They're washing. They're running businesses. And this is why I said be careful with the food that you eat. Sorry, knocking it not. I've had food poisoning twice since I've been here. But some of the food that you're eating out on the streets is coming from these areas. So I mean, there's no running water down there. And when it rains, a bunch of them have to and they're going to the bathroom down there and dumping it. So you just have to, it's just facts, guys. Ah, there's our little vlogger. Quick peek of him. Yeah, there's my electricity there. They actually crawled. That's them coming down the wall. But you're paying rent in there. And by the way, there are expats living like this. They follow their girlfriends down there. They live like that. I get being on a freaking budget when somebody says they're living on that 500, 800, and 1,000, and then they're traveling, got a motorcycle, paying for their girlfriend up in the clubs, showing, I'm like at the hotels and stuff, and they living like this. It's like, that's just sad. Oh, this one. That's a woman that was selling something she makes out of that. This guy. Check out his awesome tattoo. He wanted to say, I'm from LA and I'm, West Covina is where I'm from. That's where all the Filipinos are. And he's like, when he talks, he goes into this gangster mode. Okay. But he just was so proud of this tattoo. I take it that's an L. Look at him, bad boy. I wonder if that's like dedicated to Puffy. P. Diddy, bad boy for life. Come on, George. You're cracking
Right.
it. Say it. Say it. Bad boy. Oh, God. I'm just going to. So these are just the different looks. And you do have to be careful. I just have to make a comment here, which is kind of crazy. Okay, them are cookies in their hand. I notice all these kids that are living down there or that you'll see, they all got phones. They all got these smartphones and everything, got their data and like all of them are holding cell phones, even the little ones. This I was going to cover later because that one guy, Raj, is going back to America and he's been living in a mental facility here out on the streets. It seems to be his PSTD and he has all these other things going on. But this will show you the median that will show you. Now, I know it's changed since then and just statistics, but it's just showing that those that are there on Social Security that don't have any savings or anything else going on can quickly become homeless and that's probably at the 3,900 an actual low amount, that is for sure. Now, let me I'm going to bring in where our friend here is being yelled at to get out because, let me see if we can do this. So we're going to, okay.
The light, yeah.
Okay, what? You guys YouTube and get out. YouTuber, get out. You guys YouTube and get out. YouTube and get out. Yes. You got my back. He's being mobbed because he's carrying food. Bad idea, guys. I'm a badass and I wouldn't attempt this crap. Yeah, look at him. He's got to use something to walk across. Yeah, there could be feces, urine, everything else. It's crazy. And people pay rent down there. Yeah, so there's water everywhere. So, all right, so that kind of give you an idea, a live shot about what's going on. So,
All right, now for those of you who are not aware, again, not all of Makati is a good place.
yeah.
Keep that in mind. It's kind of like, again, it doesn't matter where you're at in the U.S. There's certain areas they're somewhat on the downtrodden kind of side. Um,
Yeah, because everybody tries to say that, oh, if you just get to Makati, everything's okay. We said once you leave a specific area that it
no,
can,
it don't.
and I've been over
Yeah,
there.
don't listen to. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and that's why one of the main reasons why we started up this channel.
And the gossip.
Now for instance, now BG, yes, it does. But of course, those are kind of very niche areas. Odds are you probably will never come across them. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know where they are. Only the ones that live there know where they are. If that makes any sense. But they do exist because there's no such thing as a perfect city. Okay. Um. So Makati, unfortunately, Makati, the the slum areas are spreading, and I'm not, again, not poverty shaming or anything like that. There's nothing.
I,
But what I'm saying is, obviously, everybody's flock in the Philippines. Everybody, whether expats or Filipinos or
yeah.
Koreans or whatever, they all flocking to Manila, which Makati's, there. So what I'm saying is, of course, the poverty-stricken areas are gonna spread. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you just have to. It's a bad ideal. It reminds me of that one guy that went down where the Bajauans were, and he was literally coming on to 12-year-olds in front of people. Like he went down in the worst area with the Bajauans and was
Oh, that
like
guy. Yeah. No. Yes. No.
some of the poverty vlogging that we've seen. I mean, I see that he's handing out snacks. If you're trying to do that, then be like Bannon Man and some of these others that take care of whole families, or
Do it for that. I
like Blair
mean,
and Leah,
don't
they put families back together, but don't go down there just to
don't
show their
vlog.
shit.
Yeah.
Yes, we're showing it because we're talking about this guy that got deported from America with all the shit going
Well, we're
on
not
over
the one
there.
doing the vlogging though,
Yeah, we're just talking about this is a group discussion.
and we're not even showing the actual vlogging either.
And then on the other hand would be this American guy that's going to be going back to America. But where's this Raj guy going to go? I mean, I guess he would have to go directly into a facility or
Well,
something.
here's an example, okay? And I'm not patting myself in the back. First off, I'm Filipino. I'm not 100% street smart, but I know enough. But here's the thing: during the time when me and Heidi went to this particular area, okay, um, a Filipino had to tell us, take down your cameras, hide them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what I'm saying is,
It wasn't even a bad
I
area.
would not have gotten that cue, and I'm Filipino, and I'm somewhat street smart, and I have a good intuition. Like I said, I would say, my brain would tell me, George, don't go in that area. Like, but when I was there with Heidi, with this other Filipino, my spidey senses didn't tingle. It didn't. The alert didn't go up there, but she had to say, hide your camera.
Same spidey sense that was reactive at 10 a.m. last night.
Exactly.
Or 10 a.m.
So
yesterday.
what I'm saying is, don't think that because you have experience that you know everything. And that's what I'm
It's
saying.
not worth the risk, but I
Because
get the vlog excitement.
Me and Heidi could have walked in that community. I'm not even talking about an alleyway. I'm talking about in an entire subdivision that we went through. And she says, hide them. Don't pull out your cameras up until I'll let you know when it's safe. Point being is, so these slum vloggers, poverty vloggers, whatever you call them, they don't know that. And that guy's not even Filipino. And a lot of these vloggers aren't even Filipino. And they wouldn't know.
Mhm.
And even a Filipino wouldn't know. Again, didn't know.
McLevin wants to know what you pick up for breakfast. He wouldn't eat the oatmeal. Almost every day I have oatmeal with flaxseed, and I add blueberries and raisins and pumpkin seeds and stuff. You got you some panda cell, didn't you?
Panda coco.
You got your panda cocoa?
Panda coco.
And you have you tried the coffee?
No, not yet.
Please do. You need some coffee. You're half asleep.
Oh, I had acid reflux. Panda coco. I had panda coco. And
Panda cocoa.
yeah, I offered Heidi some, but she's still, trying to be good.
Well, I slipped up and had ice cream the other day, but should have been 3 or 4 months.
Did you have ice cream? You didn't let me know. Did you finish that ice cream? Oh my gosh, that was so good.
I threw that out. When you were at your uncle's, it just had a weird flavor. But I ended up getting the strawberry and marshmallow. When you were at your uncle's, like, screw it. He's been over there at his family's house with his uncle. I said, screw it. And I felt down and out, and my menopause was kicking in. It's strawberry.
Oh my gosh.
Because it's in the deep freezer. He doesn't want
about up to here. Carabao milk is 100 pesos.
Yeah, it's really expensive. Yeah.
So it went up. It went up.
Yeah,
doubled in price.
I found a place that's here in Pampanga and Angel City area, but it's more expensive than that. A liter, yeah, they're wanting about 300 pesos, $5. Yeah. So a quart of milk here is costing $5 and $6. I get it's Carabao, but regular milk can cost just the same if you're getting the real stuff. That's why I get the Anchor powdered stuff, because there's nothing added to it. But nobody wants to talk to you, Chosen One.
Chosen One, how you doing, man?
You could talk to George. So, I'm just kidding. All right, let's play this second clip. All right, so basically, Jojo is going to give us a rundown. Okay, I want the photos at the end of that.
I don't know.
No, I'm talking about in that last one. Somehow the clips of.
Oh, you're talking about the price?
No, the American going back. I had added some photos. There were 2 downloads. There was initial one, and then I added as I must have uploaded the wrong clip. But so this is going to be Jojo telling you some of his story. And so let me see what is going on. I'll put a link to this video, from the vlogger that, we got permission to show these clips.
Went to a hearing, and I begged the judge. I said, Your Honor, I have no relatives back in the Philippines, and all my life I live here in Los Angeles, and I have 2 children here. And
as always, sorry guys, I still don't know if it's somewhere between the internet or a setting, so the audio is off. I still haven't figured out why it is, but he's just saying what was said before this is that he had been arrested and in jail, and he didn't want to be deported 5 years or so in prison, in and out lots of times. I'm surprised immigration didn't get him sooner back in America. He'd been there since he was 16.
All the time, like I never had a month where I was unemployed, and most of the time I had 2 jobs, one full-time and one part-time. And so when the judge gave the sentence, or the judgment that I will get deported, that just took my whole world
like
apart.
Crushing you.
Correct, because I'm going to be separated with my kids. So I just, I just try to be hard, even though I'm not like capable of handling all this pressure, Suddenly I'm like here all alone, missing my kids and my wife, and just losing everything I have, just because, of a simple drug case, that's not even supposed to be that hard. just because these people are not really considering how things are done, or basically a lot of these guys that made all this decision regarding these types of cases are people who just rely on books, rely on whatever it is that they hear from their community. That's why when I got out here in the East and I've learned the system more in these drug thing, man, I was like, dude, there shouldn't be no harsh judgment, especially in these drug cases, man. Because these people deserve an opportunity. These people are not that bad like how they promote it, man.
Understand for sure. He had been arrested several times. We get that everybody deserves a chance, rehabilitation, but he did admit further on in this and before that he had a long time that this had been going on. We get things happen, accidents. He seems to have a history of it. And you're going to get deported, especially now in America. We're not even kidding. Like, he's been back in the Philippines for 12 years, homeless. His upgrade was from doing slum vlogging along with these other vloggers and hustling the
Wait a
streets.
minute. You've been in the Philippines
He's
12 years?
he's been back and homeless the whole time.
No. I didn't know it was that long ago. I thought it was recent.
Yeah, no, 12 years. I said he's been homeless in the Philippines 12 years. He was
No,
deported.
when they deport you that long ago, then
He must have really messed up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he already admitted that it was. And honestly, from all the vlogs, if you guys just look up Jojo in the Philippines, a bunch of big vloggers show up. You can see his stuff. He looks like he's tweaking every time. This guy is 100% still like, in some of the videos, he doesn't stop like rubbing his nose. He doesn't stay still. It looks like he had been drinking. And so he still seems to have this issue, but he was, yeah, initially deported. But he's just trying to give people some advice here.
Oh, this rapist, he did that rape because he's under drugs, he's under the influence. They're trying to make such a big issue.
Okay, but if you've done the R thing, you can't discount that either. Yeah, he just said that. He just said, but unfortunately, if you're rehabilitated or if something's happened, it's one thing. But unfortunately, when all those bad things are done, you
Man.
can't discount all
Sure,
that.
sure, I got it. So you came back to you were sent to the Philippines. You had no relatives in the Philippines.
No, I went back to the province and my grandma passed away, and so this is like, dude, it's like really harsh on me. And when I left the Philippines, people are more caring to each other. Like my relatives are, you can spend the evening, you can just, like hang out with us. But when I got back there, they're not the same. Everybody be like, oh no, you don't have cash, I'm sorry.
Okay, which is true. So some of the things he said, I wanted you guys to hear firsthand from Filipinos. A lot of times we try to tell expats that this is happening and that this also is coming from another Filipino. It's not always the case, but he will say after he's been back for the last 12 years, he's noticed that when he left beforehand, a whole different set of Filipinos are here now.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
more and
no.
more, they want something for nothing. The family discounted him back in the province because he didn't have any money. And because he couldn't give anything, they pretty much chunked him see you later. And don't think that won't help it happen with you guys as an expat too. Because the moment you become useless as a tit on a board like that and you ain't got no money coming in, you're liable to be shunned and find yourself back in the city or something.
Well, what he was talking about too, just real quick, and one of my pet peeves is back then I've never heard of lip service until I went to the US. The reason being is because lip service was almost non-existent back then. And what I'm saying is, when somebody says something, there's something called in our exact words is palabra de honor, which is word of honor. So palabra de honor is something that they actually pounded in, instilled in us a long time ago, and apparently they stopped. And what I'm saying is now it's nothing but lip service. And what I'm
Different
saying is,
generation.
so when I got back here, I was like, wait a minute, this is lip service. This guy's lying to me. And what I'm getting at is, don't assume that when a Filipino tells you, "Oh, I'll do this for you. I'll do this for you. I'll do this." Don't assume that they'll do it.
Yeah.
Okay, back then, yes, you can bank on it.
Word of honor. Yeah.
Word of honor was a real thing. They actually drilled that into our heads as a kid, as parents, as teachers.
I think that's around the world. I just want to interrupt you to say
Yeah,
that
but now
it happens,
it's
in
not there anymore.
Mexico, in America, in Egypt, the other countries. It seems like that gets to be the new generational thing. But
Well, it's not new generation. It's because it's people that are the same age as I am, and they don't follow it anymore.
oh, okay, so not, I'm just talking about so I guess new generation.
Well, what I'm saying is the
it's
Philippines
it's
now.
current. Yeah, that's
Philippines now, not necessarily
Gotcha.
the age thing.
right,
Yes.
right. So
Yeah.
okay, let's.
Be able to help you out. So it's a whole different story for myself, right? So I figured I cannot stay in the province. I have to like do something about myself, make some money and all that stuff. So here I am.
Came to
I
Manila.
dragged my butt here in Manila. First in Malate is like another city,
Don't know Manila yet.
and it's been a hard, a couple of years for me learning all this, runarounds. I got involved, the whole shebang, the whole in and outs, like working hard or hardly working, or dealing with these girls. I'm not gonna lie, with the whole 9 yards, meaning the dope, the bitches, the scams that I have to like, go out there and don't get me wrong, I get scammed, when I first got here, but I did not put myself into doing it. But there are situations where people think that you're part of them because you're Filipino as well.
Sure,
and you're
sure.
part of the neighborhood. No, it's not like that.
Is there more scams going on in this neighborhood because it's where the sex tourists are coming?
Correct, because the sex
this is a red
tourism.
light area.
Nothing changes no matter where you go in the world. If you're in a slum area where there's a bunch of homeless or a bunch of low income, that's where you're going to find the party favors and the women and the tourism. Except for here in the Philippines, it's a little bit more spread out. But for the most part, it's it is where he actually is, and people got to get their hustle on. It doesn't change.
Well, here's the issue I have with this gentleman. Again, I'm not picking on him.
I wish you would.
No, it's not that.
Yeah, we're not picking on
well,
the
what
guy.
I'm
We're
saying-
just reacting to what's going
Well,
on.
I mean, I couldn't pick on him because I don't know the guy. But what I'm saying is, here's the thing: is this gentleman's from the province. I don't think he mentioned which province he's from, but guess where he's at? And what I'm getting at is, he should know out of all people, I mean, Makati, Metro Manila, in that heart of the country. Oh my gosh. It's one thing if he's a fresh graduate, from a college, and then he's like 20. Yeah, go to Metro Manila. You have a good chance of actually making it out there. No, this again. I'm not attacking this guy, but he's kind of too old to be out there.
12 years. His upgrade was going inside the building where it floods and everything
Correct.
else to pay rent. So he has a.
So what I'm saying is, he has a better chance surviving from where he grew up in. At least he would know some people.
Yeah, it's hard saying. I think that he still wanted to be around the city and get his hustle on. And if he is what I feel that he is, personally, I feel Jojo's still on substance. Can he get it out in the province? The answer is yes. But he's going to get his hustle on by
Wait.
hustling in the city.
Well,
He's a hustler.
depending on which province, there's certain provinces that you can't.
He could
really
have
get
bad.
anything.
He could have bad blood. I
Well,
don't
what I'm
trust
saying is
Jojo any further than I
there's
can throw him.
Certain provinces you can't get squat. That's what I'm
This
getting at.
guy's a hustler. This guy's a hustler. He's hustling these bloggers. He hustle. I don't think his family wanted him out there. Let's just be honest about Jojo.
You know
here.
that Dave,
Jojo's twitching.
You know when we say Dave, when Heidi says hustle,
Every
I
day
believe
I'll be
we're
hustling,
I believe
hustling,
we're talking
hustling.
about, like, Dave Chappelle. You know that meme. You got any some of that? You know.
Sorry, George.
Yeah.
This guy already, I've watched a few of his videos. You didn't get to see them all. He admitted to all of that, and some of the other ones he's tweaking
I
even
just
worse.
said it. The Dave
Right.
Chappelle meme.
And this is the only way, and he's learned over the years how to pull in these vloggers that are walking around with the camera, and he said other foreigners and all of that. I get it. I appreciate it because the shit went down. I'm going to pimp George out on Red Street, and I'm going to do some side hustle massages and stuff. Next thing you know, I'm going to be on GMA like this. You know what I mean? So
All right.
we ain't even kidding. So let's listen to the rest of this, and then we'll get through the comments. Thank you, bad boy. Speaking of bad boy, that tattoo just about summed it up for him, didn't it?
Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But thank you, bad boy, for supporting the channel, unlike a bunch of these other bums. You guys are bums. Bad boy's always representing. Thank you. Unlike George, you bum.
Right.
You bum.
Oh, professional pump.
Correct. And you know what the scam is all about? The number one scammers here are number one, the politicians. No.
Jojo could be the number one scammer is you. Look at you. How do we know Jojo's not a politician down there? He might be. He could be mayor down there. We don't. Hey, that is the truth, though, right? Because sometimes you won't know the difference. A mayor could be dressed like that here in the Philippines. Ain't no joke. We've seen politicians and stuff that go around that are dressed like Jojo.
Right.
So look at George going silent because he doesn't want to disappear on the E-trike. George be going by, zooming on the E-trike and boom, drop right off the E-trike because somebody got him.
Particular areas, don't get me wrong, okay, are most likely the women that works for all these whorehouses, these brothels, and these bars. You know, because I'm telling you, you would not get any truth, not even one single truth from these women that works in the street. Everything that they will say or you will hear from them are things that they know that you would want to hear from them. They will say it just because they know they're gonna get tipped. Oh, honey, you be looking good. You know, man, you so sexy. You made me 5 times last night. You know what I mean? And then boys will be like, yeah, I'm a stud muffin. So they go back to their country and be like, yeah, I'm going back to the Philippines. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Joe says that the women think they're going to get a tip. George, what do you think? I know I got to let you respond. He said that they're going to get the tip.
I give them my tip any day.
Don't listen to them hoes, 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 hoes.
You know, there's some okay. There's a lot of I'm not sure how many Brits there are, but Bad Boy probably would know what I'm talking about. There's this British slang that when somebody calls you a bell end. Ever heard of that?
Not really, and I've been there.
Okay. Bell end. Okay. Bell end. The reason when a Brit calls you a bell end, they're calling you a dickhead.
Oh, okay.
Reason
See,
being
and I
is
know
because
British people. I've
it's
not
you
heard
know
them
the
say
bell, the shape of the bell. That's the tip.
All right, George. I just want to answer this real quick because the same as JoJo here, it's overplayed. There's about 1,000 videos of the woman that cooks ag bag, and she's not the only one. They
Well,
just made one
it's a
famous
common
person.
thing, yeah.
Correct. It's
It's a common thing.
yeah, very very common. But I appreciate you bringing that up. So
Yeah.
for sure. So let's play out rest of JoJo's playbook. You know, let's play Joe
It's
out
more
here.
than you think, and there's more than what that lady does. There's a lot more special stuff.
There's more to the Philippines than just these basic vloggers. And now I'm going to say it. There's 1,001 Filipino peas. There's 1,001 old dogs now. 3 years ago, it wouldn't have happened. Now there are 1,000 old dogs here.
But put it
And
this
it's
way.
getting old.
Pug-
I mean, sometimes I'm like, bullshit. You know what I mean? It
Well,
just-
pug is somewhat common, and what I'm getting at is I'm actually looking for something more exotic, and if I could find it, I would put it on camera. But that's exactly my point.
smell. That's exotic.
Oh, point being is that you know pug is common, so it's kind of not that special. If that lets you, if 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 that's any indication for you guys, I'm looking for something
One
more
more time.
exotic, and I already know what it is.
You know where that finger's been?
It's just harder to find. So anyway, I don't.
Please.
No.
I'm calling from making pumpkin spice coffee this morning.
Yeah. Sure.
Snap. All right, let's get JoJo's playbook done here.
All these lies, back to back lies. And don't say to them, I'm trying to be childish about this. Homeboys, ladies and gentlemen, there are professionals and executives that comes to the Philippines, and they would probably think that they cannot be able to do that. So, I'm mature enough, and I'm very well educated for them to come up to me with this crap.
Sure. Did you speak to Carlo before?
Yes, I did.
So you did have a
Yes, sir.
language at least.
But anyway, to continue on, when they get to the subject matter, they say, oh, they're rough and tough that they cannot be able to be a victim of these women scammers. The moment these chicks put their hands and embrace you and whisper something in your ears, and then knees, they get down on their knees like praying, hey, I'm telling you, you're gonna turn or twist your decision around. That's a guarantee, That thing down there is very powerful. It's very manipulative, homeboys. So all you gotta do, man, is educate yourself regarding all this. I'm not saying you abstain from that thing, but you gotta educate yourself more on how you would not let it be dominant over whatever decisions that we're gonna make. You see what I mean?
Cool.
And I'm sorry, all the
By the way, I just want to let you guys know also on the side, in case you guys don't know, there's way more Filipino vloggers putting out the stuff that he is. It's just that these expat vloggers have found this dude over the last couple of years and used him as content. So originally he might have been putting out some little trinkets of information. Basically, they used him for the slum vlogging. But he's like giving out his dating advice. So basically that's about the end of it. There's not a whole lot. He just keeps going on about he'll keep going on about don't use your little head to control your big head, and the Filipinas will walk on you, and that's pretty much what he goes through. So it's just where it is, but it is where it is. Let's see what's going on. Victoria says not many foreigners would live like that in their own country. No, but somehow they come here, and I really believe it's because of the Filipino. A lot of them will go into areas. They live in Tondo constantly. I always talk about that Australian guy that's on Rafi Tulfo, and he let his woman handle the marriage certificate, and they bought a condo. He got ripped out of all that. He moved to the Tondo area, which is very poor, and the marriage certificate was not real. She lied on her. She was already married to somebody else. And then on top of that, she somehow got both kids. They had two kids together, and he can't even find her now. And so he's been trying to see his kid for years. And so it was kind of a hot mess. But some do. They do go down there and they actually live and everything. I mean, as I was talking earlier, that with Social Security and everything, not everybody's got a ton of savings. Not everybody's got their life pulled together. They come over here for a better life than just living on Social Security. But we always say you should bring some savings with you. You should have somebody or come here several times so you get to know the areas. It's not easy leaving your country. It's not easy living in the Philippines or anywhere else. And with the issues going on in the United States, and it costs 3-4 times a Social Security check, which you should not rely on, but some of us unfortunately do, plus savings. What happens when your spouse dies and they're the ones with the pension and then it no longer carries over and then they have their Social Security? It's just the one person. I just watched a brand new NBC Dateline about silver homeless people. Older people in the United States are becoming homeless. There are 42,000 homeless seniors that are like over the age of 65 that are now living on the street. Their spouse passes away or they go into a facility. They can't do nothing. A lot of them aren't owning their homes these days, or they've mortgaged them. Then they actually go into debt. What do you think?
Yeah, what you're talking
Oh,
about. 'Cause
yeah.
right now, homelessness is. I'm not sure what the actual verbiage is, whether it's vagrancy or homelessness, that's illegal.
Well, in some states, yes, it's being made to be so. I don't know if it's all the. I'm not going to sit here and say I know that every state is now it's illegal. I think there's been a level that it's been illegal for a long time, just being on the streets or living in these vans, but they're now doing different things. But I know that I showed the statistic earlier that 1,800 is the median of a pension slash Social Security, and that 3,900, a month on average,
Yeah. Now,
living on it would just be an impossible.
just real quick, the issue with that, again, I'm not trying to pick on any particular country or anything, because I'm gonna be honest with you. First off, um, a lot of countries, Philippines and the U.S. and Canada included, they they have a tendency to relocate the homeless. Okay, and when I say relocate, as in pick them up and then drop them off somewhere. Okay, and again, don't don't argue with me. This is a thing. Every country does it. Certain politicians do it. Again, don't argue. It's a fact. Point being, what I'm getting at is a lot of countries relocate the homeless. Now, this is the norm. Occasionally, for example, like for instance, the Olympics is coming into town. That's when usually governments pick up all the homelesses and then relocate them,
Yeah,
whatever.
they did that the last
Right,
time.
and
Yeah,
again, they
and
do
they'll be
it.
doing it
They do it
again.
in a lot of countries. Again,
They did that here.
right. So that's what I'm getting at. It's a common thing, and I'm not talking about a particular country. You name it. But what I'm getting at is now some of you will be like, okay, they're making homelessness or vagrancy illegal. Now, the real issue with that is not so much as the legality of it. The issue is as the feasibility of it, as in, is it feasible? Is it sustainable? And what I'm getting at is because if you make it illegal and you
Oh, Scott wants
uh,
to live under the stairs.
if you incarcerate, you know, homeless people, now, I mean, it's bad enough that taxpayers had to support the homeless before that, but now you're forcing the taxpayers to support them. Get it? It's one thing helping out the homeless and contributing to charities versus you're actually getting deducted from you personally. So it's kind of like a catch 22. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't, as Bart always says. If you incarcerate the homeless, yeah, they get four hots and a cot. They lose their freedom, but they get that. Or they're out there, and again, on how depending on how the taxpayers pays for it, so it's
That's kind of like Carrie, Tasty Travels. We always talk about. She helps expats that are homeless. She recently helped Filipinos, and she's been working on that guy. I think his name's Raj or Raji, but he is American. I guess he's got Indian descent, but she's finally got the temporary passport. There's somebody going back that he's going to ride with. He's been in and out of facilities here, homeless for several years. Allegedly, he got scammed and his girlfriend kicked him out. So he's been on the streets living homeless for several years. He's very cantankerous and fighting with people. He talks to himself. You'll see him stop on the streets in her videos, and he's kind of talking to himself and waving, like totally lost his mind. Now, the one thing that I'll disagree with her is she said it seems to be that he's clearing his mind and he's getting better. Without medication, that type of craziness and the things he's going through, unfortunately, mental health issues, let me be more politically correct for you guys, doesn't just go away. He's not going to magically get off the airplane and be okay. And he's magically not going to go into a nursing home, and he's not magically just going to find a shelter. He's going back to Michigan. That's where he's from. As I'm to understand, that's where he's from. That's where he's going to. Unfortunately, the U.S. has actually become a whole different thing. Like one woman was like, one Filipina commented to her when they said, "Where is he going?" She's like, "Oh, but it's America. There's so many benefits of being there, and he'll get food and help and go into a shelter, and they'll find him an apartment." Man, that was a dream about 20 years ago. That type of assistance is gone. I mean, you'll get some churches that'll help for a while. The facilities for the seniors at NBC just showed they can stay there. I think it's Vincent de Paul Church or whatever. They can stay there for 2 years. That's nice of them, but what happens after 2 years? They're back out on the street. The guy said he lived on a bench for months. He slept every hour, and it's kind of crazy. But when he gets off there, unless he goes into a mental facility, as I'm to understand, the new regime over there in the United States is saying that the homeless encampments that they're closing down, they'll be given an opportunity to go into a facility, rehab, or a mental facility, or they can go to jail. And so it's kind of one or the above. It's not all totally in writing yet, but when I think about that, it's like, well, maybe he'll go into a mental facility, but there's still a limit. There's only so many mental facilities and beds and everything else. So Raj is going from the frying pan with the egg in it, from the frying pan with the egg, bacon, sausage, and McGriddles in there. I mean,
Well,
it's
mental facilities don't keep you for an ongoing issue.
for him it might. He's really got some issues. So if he's a harm to himself or he's attacking somebody, they're liable to more commit him if there's not family. He's up there in age. I'm going to
Questionable.
guess he's mid 60s. But, somebody was like, oh, well, he'll get his check from Social Security and he'll get all kinds of help. I was like, oh, honey, I
Okay.
had to answer that one. That's just not going to happen.
All
And that
right.
was a Filipino. There was a bunch of Filipinos saying, oh, it's way better than me here. I said, no, I agree. He doesn't belong here. So that I'll agree. Raj does not belong in the Philippines. His passport was gone. His visas were gone. She gets a lot of assistance to, help him, which is really great. But no, it's the American is leaving the Manila area and going home. But where is he going to end
Yeah.
up as a senior himself?
Now
And I
the
agree, Black Grandpa.
now Heidi put up a chart or
Good
two
morning.
figures earlier on
Yeah,
the median
1,800 give or take on Social Security.
versus
3,900
correct.
would be a salary that's
So
barely getting by in about 100 cities in the U.S.
right. So basically on
Last year, I want to say it did say
I
24.
right. Well, first off, I don't think that's actually accurate.
Well, they never are. Even the
I
charts here,
I
they,
think
they
that's way under. That's way off. As in, it's worse.
yeah, real quick, I'm going to interrupt you. That I was telling them in the last live stream that they showed here in Pampanga that you can live well for 25,000, a good life. And the Filipinos called them out. They were saying 600 peso electric bills, and so all newspapers,
No,
whether there or the
50.
statistics, are always off.
50.
I said we spend sometimes
Double that.
100,000 a month, and we don't go on
Yeah,
vacation,
double that. Now,
which is $2,000 a month. So I would disagree that that's living
right.
comfortable.
Now the thing is okay. First off, again, I'm not trying to sell anything to you guys, or I'm not trying to glaze anybody or any country or any lifestyle.
Oh, I will.
And I don't care who you are or what you are. You can say all the crap that, oh well, this person didn't here, and that's why they're this, and that's why they're that. Fuck you. Okay. You know why I say that? Because you know what? There's always somebody more prepared than you are.
Hmm.
I don't care who you are,
There's
what you
always
are.
somebody
There's
more
always somebody better than you are financially.
or worse
Fact.
off.
And guess what? That person will say, "Oh well, he didn't prepare as I have." And then guess what? That person, there's always somebody up to the next tier. Well,
But
they didn't prepare as
I
much as
do
I have.
feel most of the U.S., the middle class is disappearing, and I do feel most people are paycheck to paycheck over there.
No,
I
no,
don't have to
I
be
get that.
among the rich. That's only a percentage of
Right.
people in America.
And
That
I'm just
seems to be
saying,
a vision, but most people are going to be living on
right.
Social
And
Security
I'm
and a little
again,
bit of
if you're
savings.
one of those people that say that, take a good look at yourselves and think, is there somebody higher than you? Odds are yes. Okay. So screw you. I'm talking about the regular salt of the earth people. Okay. I'm not talking about the rich people or, whatever. I'm talking about the salt of the earth people. Okay. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because the numbers that Heidi says earlier that she showed up, the
Cheap
1800,
bastards.
3900, I'm not, again, it the the thing is, and this is why I made that point that, oh well, they didn't prepare enough. Well, it's not that.
Mango
We're trying to say
shakes.
is inflation is not keeping up with the pay or the social security.
Same here in the Philippines.
It's
It's
just not
even
keeping
worse
up.
here. Like the prices, like F is going up here.
Right.
I can't believe the prices versus being able to make any money. And they'll hire little jobs. Don't get me wrong. Some little jobs are here if you've got your work permits and everything as an expat. Besides that, what is the age, the cutoff? They say 18 to 40. Some say 35 on the hiring applications.
30.
And
What are you talking about?
right. So after a certain age,
30
you're over
years
the
old, you're
hill.
done.
Well, the other day they had a bag person they're trying to hire at the Walter Mart up the street.
Oh,
And they're asking for bag people and different things, but it did say 18. I thought it said an up or something, but it didn't give a
no,
cutoff.
18 again. Okay,
But remember, jobs like that is probably what, 10, 15,000 pesos a month, maybe
18,
20 if
18
you're
to
lucky.
30, no kids.
Yeah, and that's not a bar girl
I'm
salary.
not making this up. But okay, now here's the thing. Back on the wage and income and social security. To put into perspective, and a lot of people forget, and the key word is forget. You guys remember this fictional character named Archie Bunker? Okay, Archie Bunker is based on the working man back then. Now, Archie Bunker's not even a freaking foreman. He's not even a supervisor. He's just a lowly employee. Okay? But he's based on the average American person, and he raised his kids, got them out, he has his own house and everything. The American dream. I put air quotes on the American dream because back then, as long as you're working class, you can afford your house, you can afford your land, you can afford your car, you can afford your rent, you can afford everything.
Little
And your
extra.
wife is a housewife. That was the American dream. And that's what I'm getting at is that's gone. That's long gone.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
Mark's
saying?
saying in 24 the median was 62,000 a
Correct.
year.
And
Yeah.
that's what we're trying to get at is you'll never catch up. You will never ever catch up. And that's why we're like, that's why we're here. That's why Heidi's here,
It's
like
cheaper to live here, and you're not working 16
Right.
hour days, 6 days a week.
And again, I'm not trying to glaze you guys. I'm not trying to sell anything. I mean, I could care less if you guys move to the Philippines.
That's almost
Does it affect me? Does it affect Heidi? No, it doesn't. Again, but
and that would be rough. That's $1,300
right.
a week. I mean, even though we left 5 years ago, I still think somebody making
5 years
$1,300 a
ago,
week. Who was making
shoot,
1,300?
back then we bought steaks at Dollar Tree, for crying out loud.
Those were pretty good steaks back then.
Exactly.
Divided
Yeah.
by
Dollar
40.
Tree had some really freaking awesome
okay.
steaks.
So I just divided that. That is $1,300 a week. Let's say that is before tax. That's $32 an hour. Who the F in the median class is making $32 an hour? Even if you have a really good job online, who's making $32 an hour?
No, a lot of people didn't make that.
So these are more statistics that are found online. Just like, I think the reason we see so many, there's a lot of expats that get here and they make good money. I mean, like they come here, but understand they're not telling you about everything. Like, so they're getting different pensions. A lot of them are getting disability from military, and they'll say, oh, well, I'm just doing this, and that. A lot of them are on the military pensions on top of that. Okay, well, they had money, they had savings, and here they are. You see what I mean? I mean, those are the success stories. But I guarantee that's 2 out of 10 here. All the rest of them are struggling or on a lower income, and I consider myself poor. I mean, I ain't gonna lie about that. But there are people way worse arriving here. Some are arriving on SSI, which are not even supposed to leave the United States
Yeah,
on.
they're not even
Low
allowed
income,
to.
like period. Like some have sold a house and they're living out of their savings. That I wouldn't risk unless I was going to be homeless. A few times in our vlogs, we've talked that if your ass is going to live on the street like Jojo here, then yeah, come to the Philippines, but don't live like Jojo.
Oh my
Don't
gosh,
be
no,
like
don't do that.
Jojo. Will be our new thing. He wants you to say Dr.
Yeah,
Jones.
hey Scott, how you doing, man?
Dude.
Dr. Jones, Dr. Jones. Yeah.
I say, don't tell him don't live like Jojo in the same voice.
What?
Yeah, use your Dr. Jones voice.
That's racist.
It's not racist, Squint Eyes. Just
Don't
say,
live like JoJo.
don't be like
Don't be like JoJo.
I mean, because they do though. These guys will come out here and build these brick houses and have family members do it that are half-assed, that have little to no money come in it. Don't be like JoJo either. But if you're going to be homeless like that in America, where I, seen an entire building of homeless people in there, like trying to kill each other over breakfast sandwiches, another slum vlogging in the US that I watched yesterday, then yeah, I would say pull your life together and go somewhere where you can live and get out. But you still have to have a good plan. I mean,
Yeah. Now, speaking of Get Out and speaking of JoJo, now remember that they kind of like YouTuber Get Out? YouTuber Get Out?
yeah, I wanted to.
If by chance they were at the wrong place at the wrong time, that mother effer would have shanked them.
Right. So ain't even kidding like that. Whether it was in Mexico, you had to be careful. In Egypt, and especially these days. If here's the thing, a lot of those vlogs that I keep seeing, you guys do realize those are police officers with cameras on that are recording. They upload their own shit while they're working as police officers, and they do these walkabouts. But it doesn't mean it's okay for a vlogger to do it or to be in certain areas. You just got to be careful
Yeah,
on
and
top
to
of
make
it.
it worse, you're a vlogger. I mean, if somebody's under the influence of, some blue stuff from Breaking Bad, you know what I'm saying? In some slum area, and you walk into his house and he sees you, you're, oh, an American, he's got money.
Yeah.
You're done. You're
Uh,
done, son.
Black Grandpa, good morning. A Filipino who lives in the city would have street smarts, but a country Filipino has no clues about the danger. That's another thing. If you're dating a Filipina that has only been out there, or a Filipino, because there's women coming too, yeah, they're not going to. It'd be the same in America. If you take somebody that's living out in the middle of nowhere and they go in the city, a lot of them have no clue. Internet experience doesn't count. That goes for these bloggers that are coming
Oh, no,
here.
internet can't teach you.
I just seen a new channel and I put don't recommend the channel anymore because the guy came in acting like old dog, repeated everything that him and Mike have done and the others in Dumageddon. Andy's from Dumageddon. And then he admits like 3 videos in, and I didn't watch 3 videos. It's just his third video. He's like, oh, well, I have Chat GPT that's telling me, about these things. And I'm like, dude, you just admitted that Chat GPT does your scripting, which also is giving you the information about living in the Philippines.
Oh, you know how many vloggers
Or
say
scripting these
that
things.
ChatGPT is wrong?
Well, yeah, it is, but they're not. It's like some of them. Like I seen this guy the other day that said he was here in the Philippines, and he had a fire extinguisher and a brick wall and stairs leading upstairs. How many people literally are in a basement here in the Philippines?
What basement?
Right? He literally was talking about like the day before I was here and here in the Philippines. I'm like, dude, you still living on that shit? Another one that's in the basement and up north in the United States, talking about they're here in the Philippines.
Just real quick again. To be honest with you, there are basements in the Philippines, however rare. However,
Well, this
do
guy,
not rent a basement apartment
it's
in the
like in
Philippines.
Ohio. It has a
They
fire
do
hose with a
exist.
glass thing. It looks
Do
like he's at a
not-
fire station. To be
Well,
honest,
what I'm saying is,
they don't have those types.
do not rent basement apartments in the Philippines. They exist, and do not rent them. Whatever you do, because it does flood here.
Yeah, I'm going to answer this very slightly. It's kind of an very odd question when I want to. I already say I don't leave the air conditioning in house. I like being here and going other places, but it is a fairly odd question. Kind of weird. How often do I go? Too often. So I'm just not one. I've mentioned it before about going to the family's house because there's no reason. It just answers no.
Right. I hate to say this. Those are really good. The ice cream containers are really tough. They're hard.
I mean, how often did you follow me over to my family's house when I went to go see my sisters and grandson? Not all the time.
Oh, of course not.
So it's the same here. He goes over there a lot lately, and he helps with his uncle and his granddaughter and spends time with her. I'm sorry. One, they don't have AC in the house, and I'm not gonna sit
Well,
there
I
and burn
mean,
up and itch up just to sit around and it's
what
just not
What
me.
Heidi's saying is, whenever your in-law goes over to
The
visit
expats don't
family,
follow. You're just asking an odd
how
question, in
often do
my
you
opinion.
follow them? Most of the time, you don't.
Do you
You
find
know,
the question to be odd? I think it is for the
it's
topic,
somewhat out of left
which
field.
seems to
It's out
be
of
a
left field.
family member or
It's out
somebody.
of left field.
It is out of left field, but I'm just
Yeah.
going to address it because it's odd. Need new Tupperware, so you had to finish the ice cream for the
Yeah,
container.
no, they're
I've been
tough.
throwing them out. Yeah, I've been throwing them out.
Well, I
Which,
mean, if you have enough, then you have enough. I mean,
well, I
there's no need.
have
I
one
mean,
that we put peanuts in. That's a cracker thing, and then I have one that's like a blue bucket that has some coconut cookies in it from months
no, you
ago.
should throw them out.
I put
I
the
mean,
wires. I got like a bunch of chargers and cords for like when
yeah,
there's
I
a power
mean,
outage. We put these in it, but
once you've had enough, you had enough.
that is the truth.
But they're good containers, yes.
Yeah, homeless in California, shocker. Yeah, is the
Right?
guy Filipino American? According to him, he's not. He's just been there since he was super young. So yeah, no, it wasn't just a simple yeah. And I love the guy's defense, right? Because he kept saying, "Well, please don't deport me because I've had lots of jobs here and my family's here." They don't care. They definitely don't care about that now. Back then, they don't. It doesn't save you from anything. That saying all that and being a good person and all that is not going to save you, and not when it
No, you have to
repeats.
be a.
The man has said he's been in and out of jail and prison forever,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
that basically, in my opinion, he's just got a certain.
a chosen one says that everybody has to play by the rules.
That is true. How things are done is you apply and come here legally. Yeah, the same with the U.S. Same with here.
Yeah, of course.
There is just as many homeless foreigners here that aren't doing their paperwork than there are in the U.S. They said that right now there's a big community of Filipinos that don't have their paperwork. Tinko and Taco.
TNT, tago ng
Oh,
tago.
it's Tinko and Taco.
TNT.
Oh, Dr. Jones, sorry about that. Ah, laws are dolls.
Oh
That
yeah,
is
speaking
true.
of Dr. Jones, Scott sent me a video clip of a flying fox, and I thought it was cute. The reason why I say that, you know what a flying fox is?
No.
It's a giant bat, about half the size of you. It's huge.
Was
Freaking
that
huge?
okay? Is that the one that was here in the Philippines though? That somebody
No, we have flying
found?
foxes here. Yeah, they're
They
like,
said he was as big as a human. He was on Facebook the
yes.
other day.
Well, okay, it's as big as a human.
Probably Georgia's size, not my
sideways.
size.
Actually, they're bigger than humans sideways, but we're talking about like this. Yeah, but they're half the size of humans from head to toe.
Yeah, I seen him.
So no, they look like flying dogs or flying foxes. That's why they call them that. Yeah. No.
Defon said this guy is a Filipino that was repatriated, not an American, just because he lived in America. No, the title is dealing with the thumbnail never indicated that he was deported. It's the other guy that is an American. We're doing two stories today, so I'm well aware, and we did from the beginning of for those that are rewatching the live stream. This guy is a Filipino that was made to leave. He was deported. And it is Raj that we've covered on and off the last couple months that's finally going home, but he's going to be homeless. So that's why we talked about Social Security and, what to do. And here's another thing, a subject that I've been hearing a lot here lately is that a lot of these Americans and other people from different countries, they sell everything. They give everything up when they come here to the Philippines. Some choose to leave multiple banks open. They leave their home. They have somebody watching their home, like their kids or something, which is the best way to do it. Now, we knew that we weren't going back. So I just seen a video. Our members only, you guys, there's video where it shows you holding the puppy when you go by on your skateboard. I just seen that yesterday. And George is zooming by, and I'm like, well, right there you can count. We had 4 or 5 cars in the driveway. Like we were
The puppy
living
or
super
the
posh.
duck?
No, that one you were holding the puppy, and I said, "Oh my God, his ears are going back." And
Yeah,
he was skateboard. We had a
there's
couple
few
videos,
times, yeah.
and there's been like haters and doubters on the previous life we had. We never said we were rich either, but we literally had that many cars in the
We're above
driveway,
average.
and they were all used. Only one of them was a brand new car, but we chose to sell everything, give everything away, and we had an apartment and a house at the same time. And so some people do not. Yeah, the cats were living posh in the AC.
No. The reason why I laughed is because my cat strolled over the phone and my cat ordered a gaming computer.
That was true.
This is desktop, just a system. It was a $4,000 computer, and the cat ordered
On
it
Amazon, yeah.
by stepping on it. And what I'm saying is, it's I had way enough money to cover that. But and a lot, I was talking to Heidi the other day that a lot of Americans in the U.S. don't even have
They don't even have a paycheck.
$3,000 to cover in case of an emergency. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad. It's really sad.
We had way more money. Okay, we have spent a lot of money. Like we established yes, because there's been a few emergencies and medical things, and we still have a substantial amount that'll get us through a major medical. And you always have to have shit money. But to reestablish our asses now back in America would just be.
And you have
It
to
just wouldn't make
remember,
any
we have to
sense
get
at
rid of
this point.
everything at a loss because we can't take the cars. We can't take anything.
Right.
Most of the stuff we gave away because, like the
Well,
TVs
the cars,
and stuff.
the motorcycles,
You can't. Yeah, exactly.
And it was during the pandemic,
Yeah.
so
You have to give
they didn't
away
even want to
stuff
come
away,
to the
yeah.
house because we were literally in
Yeah.
the height of the
So
pandemic.
what I'm saying is we have to get rid of assets that's at a loss, and it's just a reality of things that you will come across when you decide to move.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is those that are taking those losses are cutting. When I say cut ties, I mean it in all way. They cut ties with their family. Like you guys know, I've been watching 90 Day Fiance and the other way around and all that, and I'm seeing so much stuff where these people are gambling beyond gambling. Like their family doesn't know till the last minute. Their situation of having any money to return. Like when that one that the Zuko guy or whatever went to the Philippines. He built the Filipina house and he arrived with literally $300. He had nothing. Now, thank God, I know 90 Day was paying him like all get out. So you weren't fooling me by saying you guys are flat broke. But it's scripted in there that, hey, we're going to go with your broke. He probably really did only have 300. They don't pay him right away. But no, it was crazy. $300. I said, oh, I ain't that crazy. But there are expats that arrive here living on credit cards. Literally no savings, no social security, and they wing it. Don't be a dumbass, man. Don't be a dumbass and arrive here and have that and then cut all your ties in the US. That's how these guys end up homeless. And then they don't want to go back. They don't do immigration, and it just, it's a hot mess.
Right.
Yeah, it's the same guy. He aged differently. Yeah. I understand this is a Philippine channel, but this guy is not relevant. Nobody cares. It's wrapped into the whole thing of homelessness. That's why I showed it as don't do slum blogging. It is chosen one. You're just drunk, so go sit somewhere.
Whoa.
So bite me on that one, man.
Whoa.
Speaking of irrelevant,
Dang. What's wrong?
there you go. How'd that smell? Like pumpkin spice? Gotcha.
What, you want a sneaky Sanchez?
That was last week. It wasn't so sneaky. And why
Right.
was it yellow?
What? Oh, it's because it's dehydrated. Yeah,
Oh,
when a guy's dehydrated, it turns yellowish.
DHS needs to step up on deportations.
Department of Homeland Security.
I guess so. I guess
I don't think that's their jurisdiction. I thought it was ICE.
I have no idea.
Huh.
I know an American manager at a big restaurant chain promoted again, knowingly married illegal a Mexican had babies and got caught in deportation. There's a lot of American women or spouses that are leaving the country with their spouses. Like they're taking
No,
the
they'll
money and leave, and
they'll
they should support their
well
spouses.
back then they would the judge would reconsider
We already
getting rid
covered
of
that.
you.
We
Yeah,
never said that, but I understand what you're saying.
yeah, yeah. They would reconsider on deporting an immigrant if they had
Yeah, so he
kids, but
said.
now I said now they won't. But we're talking about during Jojo's time. Yeah, he would have been reconsidered, but no, I believe he's a repeat offender, and they're
Yeah.
like, screw this guy.
Yeah, and they won't. There are people that had charges back in their own country and none in America, and they're deporting them now in America. So they didn't even do anything wrong there, and they had already been there for 10 years with families and wives, and they're getting rid of them. But that's something I don't want to really deeply get into. Is this wasn't meant to be so much about illegals, except for being homeless here, and but yeah, there's a couple different things going on. Oh, he's going on that he used to live on Club Royal Street in his truck. He's talking about that there was another Filipino. There's lots of homeless Filipinos. It's as a matter of fact, sadly, you can drive by and see entire families like laying out there, like the babies are sleeping. They're all on their cell phones laying down. Late at night, they'll get on Red Street down here or other areas where the expats are, and they're selling cigarettes. You'll see kids selling cigarettes and condoms down there. It ain't even a joke, man. It's kind of that's what George used to do to make money. Still selling cigarettes and condoms for extra money.
Yes,
Uh,
all the time.
just roll times, yell out what you would yell out selling them. Just a little sneaky peek on how you sell them out loud.
What?
Say, do it in Tagalog, and cigarettes and condoms. Somebody buy for me, expats, cigarettes and condoms. Just in Tagalog. Come on, just come on. I need.
Yeah.
A little bit more flavor, baby.
Yeah.
Yo si capote.
Yo si capote.
What's that? What is that? What is
What?
that?
Well, Yossi is slang for cigarette.
And capote?
It's like fag in
Okay.
British.
Yo say capote.
Yossi is cigarette. Although that's
Is capote condom?
no, it's capote is raincoat.
So if I just go up and down when I'm walking the dog at 6 in the morning, I can yell that. Yo say capote.
Yeah, you'll probably get a lot of
Yo,
laughs.
yo
Yeah,
say
because it's coming from you.
capote.
I'll be like, what the freak?
I'll carry a box,
Yeah, carry. Well, you have to carry a
a
a
tray,
wooden tray, right?
or
And you
like
carry on your shoulder.
uh,
Yeah.
for all of us going through the legal immigration process, we have no sympathy. No, that's the truth.
No, no,
Amen
no.
to
Yeah,
that.
that's fair is
That's
fair.
what we
Yes, I agree.
said. Is a lot of
Fair is
people
fair.
feel
Yes.
that we're like this or that on politics, and really we're technically not. We're not. We're for the part of be legal, man.
Well, fair
Do
is
your
fair.
fair is where
Fair
we
is
are on
fair.
everything. We're about people being
Nothing to do
fair.
with who's in power. It's fair is fair.
Yeah, it's what's actually, but it's the same here. Being here in the Philippines or Asia does not make it any easier. We paid out good money, like to get me like
Oh my
totally
gosh.
legal in my permanent residency here. It's
I
insane.
remember Paul. Okay, I'll just mention his first name. I won't mention his last name. The one that you met at the mall
Yeah,
at the coffee shop.
yeah.
You know what's his friend's name is?
Okay.
No.
Raincoat.
No. Her name is Kamala Harris.
Oh my god.
It's not the Kamala Harris, but I was looking at it in Facebook yesterday, and I was like, Kamala Harris. I was like, then I clicked on the name. I was like, oh, and then it's his friend, but It's just funny, but it's not the Kamala Harris. It's just funny that they have the same name. But
I have
anyway.
a feeling when this guy left the Philippines, he forgot about his family and friends he left behind. Yeah, he probably didn't send any money. Karma. It could be that he got there, worked, and not all Filipinos will send money back. And I've been watching more and more videos about the Kapwa, or
Well,
like the Kapwa, or being as one with the family. There is a level of things that are expected. Filipinos do support each other heavy here. You're going to get, and you're going to get a lot of Filipinos. I get why that person asked me, "Am I going over to your family?" Because usually they want like camaraderie and all of that.
yeah, well,
Your family is different, though. You got to admit, your family probably wouldn't want me over there all the time. Your family is I call them the loners. It's kind of like for you. In other words, they're not over there having a party every day. There's not 10 or 12 people hanging over there all the time.
no, that would
Your
be me.
family is different than the average
But
Filipino. Even you say you're different from Filipinos. I feel your family and brother
oh, no,
and
no, no,
daughter are
no.
all
I wouldn't say
different.
I'm different from Philippines. I'm the old Filipino. A
Yeah,
lot of
but
Filipinos tell me that all the
I don't
time.
feel that your family house is the average Filipino house with 12 people living there, or
Oh, no,
that
no,
they're
no.
all up in
No, no,
there
no,
eating
no.
out of the refrigerator. And no, your
No, no,
family's a
no.
little different and than the average Filipino
Well,
household. But I mean, in
well,
general, Filipinos are expected to put their kids through school and look out. Now they do that. I will let you know they do stick close together. But something like Black Grandpa say, I do feel that this guy might have just totally not sent any money back or
well, that's.
contacted all the time. So when he returned, I don't think it was, hey, they wanted money from me and then I
I
had to
wouldn't
leave.
say that's the issue because I know a lot of Filipinos that they really don't care about that. But they do care about is if you bring trouble.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, this sounds like a troublemaker in the U.S.
He looks like I could still
So
tell.
they don't want that trouble.
Well, yeah, you could still see he's drinking. You could still see he's
No, that's
in all
why
of his videos.
that's
He
what I'm
cannot
saying.
stay still, and he's slurring his words. Something tells me he's still having good time.
What
So
I'm
that's
saying
up to
is,
him.
I'm pretty sure if because he said he's been jailed a few times, and what I'm saying is, you know, his family's probably not that type that, they're probably a, a good family. They never, get into trouble, and then,
Hey, Harry. Hi, how are you doing?
hey
Deer Park,
Harry,
New York
how you
is in
doing?
the house. Hector, what is going on? Palabra de honor has become palabra de horror. That was last night's lovemaking.
Palabra de honor.
One more time, raincoat. Corona.
Capote.
Capote.
It's like camote, except
Oh, like capote, like that.
capote. It's just one word away.
I'm gonna call you capote for now on.
Yeah.
Raincoat. How do you say non-raincoat?
Huh?
Just non-capote. Yeah, you don't know anything about raincoats. I'm gonna call you non-raincoat with your 6 daughters.
No, you say walang.
Walong capote.
No,
Walong.
none.
Walong.
No. Well,
Walong
none.
capote.
Well, it's not none. It's no raincoat. But you can't say no because no is no. O hindi,
Walong
which doesn't make
capote.
sense. So you would use the word walang, which means none.
Walong
None.
capote.
Yeah. But anyway. Oh, what was that? I was getting at. Dang it. I was gonna say something during the live about the Philippine language that there's a trick that I came up
Hey,
with for you
Lacus.
guys. But anyway, well, I
Trick or
forgot
a
now.
joke?
So trick.
Uh,
No, no, no,
well,
no.
give us a trick, anyways. Give us your oldest trick that you haven't done in a long time.
What?
Yeah, have a snack. I left the cat food snack for you over there. Ooh, the ring trick.
Magic.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyway,
Save those fingers for later. There.
right?
Oh, Bad Boy said, yeah, Bad Boy name came out from the Philippines for Cebu for what I did in helping people. Yeah, Devon said Jojo is still on dope and women, as he clearly stated. Yeah,
I can't say much about the dope thing. That's a matter of opinion, but the women, yes,
I'm sure he knows where to find him.
clearly.
Yeah, and well, I can because I can just tell that he's not normal. It's the way his mouth is moving and he's slurring. But all the videos that he's been on that I've seen the last few days, he's kind of. Ruby says when I visited the U.S. in '03, I managed to get California driver's license at the DMV, but only stayed in LA for a duration of holiday for 6 months. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the driving was crazy back then over there. So, and that's where he said thank you. What is going on, AI Coconut? I know where. Yeah. Socks and Sam says his tagline is, "Hey, bro." Yeah, everything's "Hey, bro." I'm from Cali, man. Yeah, I'm sure everything that he does is, he always says he's lived in the United States, is probably his lines. I'm having a hard time, bro. Help me out. I will admit I gave him 1,000 and then avoided him after because he never remembered who I was. Yeah, and I'm sure that's what the vloggers and people. I'm sure, honestly, I bet he's making a killing out there right now by just every expat that he sees or every Filipino, that he's. I'm sure. I'm still curious as a social interest. And when I'm going to gather some money out of George's wallet and go up on MacArthur Highway and hold a sign, and for everybody that gives me money, I'll give them 10 times the money back. I'm going to need your wallet. Social experiment.
Well, Heidi just reminded me. Um, Heidi doesn't do this obviously, but man, I had an ex a long time
Thank
ago
you, Victor.
where she would raid my wallet, and I don't care. But the problem is she never told me whenever she raided my wallet. So I'd be going at Walmart buying groceries and crap, and then I get to the cashier and there's no money in the wallet.
Right.
Oh my god!
Mark said, "Oh yeah, I would definitely take advice from a homeless Filipino living in the U.S. and then
There,
living homeless here."
right there you go.
Right. And that's another thing. At some point in that interview, he actually made this statement, "Oh, people are lying about me that I beat my woman." And he was like telling on himself. Anybody that goes that far to say, "I didn't do that," they're lying on me. Something has to be true. Nobody even said nothing. And out of the blue, he just tells on himself. It was kind of weird. He said, all those lies out there about me beating on my woman and that I was this, and that in the US. I said, yep, that's probably true. It was just the way he kept going on about it. This guy got deported, was added no value to American society, just like he brings no values. I'm in the Philippines. He's right where he belongs. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody deserves to be homeless. I was twice. And it was all about being in between jobs. And then my husband was ex-military and never got a job right afterwards. And a lot of tough times for me in the 90s. And it was short lived. I wasn't out there for months or anything. The one time was when I went back to Ohio and didn't have any jobs and a bunch of money. Car broke down. We dumped all of our money into this car. And I thought we would have that money for deposits. I was under 20 years old. So there was a lot going on when I became homeless the first time. And the other time, same situation, but I actually was in a homeless shelter. So I get it. Nobody deserves to be homeless. With this day and age, with the jobs and the finances and all this stuff going on, it is kind of crazy. But when you forever live 12 years on the street, just like this American going back, he lived 2 years on the street. That's a long time, and it's, I don't know, I can't even begin to cover all of that. But it seems like he's enjoying his life. Now he doesn't call himself homeless and he's living underground. Uh, Taxpayers do pay for homeless. That's why they go to the hospital and get free health care and food banks to get free food. the corners where the guy was is living at abandoned bar forever. So I guess he picked a good spot. High foot traffic. No, he's not stupid. I told you he's a hustler. He probably knows exactly where to be because he's more in the Makati district, which is where he can just step a few streets over and he's where they are. And so, over the other Filipinos that are speaking Tagalog, like most of the time, I don't understand. And so, we have in the past taken, like, we'll give to the older and the kids, but we tend to feed them versus just handing over money. So most of the time, I just don't hear them because they're speaking Tagalog. So this guy is talking directly to expats by saying, "Hey, I'm from Cali," and blah blah, and he's just going into it, and they just seem to have more of a connection possibly with him.
No, yeah,
It's
yeah. No, I honestly don't know what the connection is, but yeah.
actually it's about right, 4 to 5 thousand a month to live in the U.S. It was actually that's what we were paying about. That's about what we were spending when we left. So but that included some things dealing with part of the business, which was multiple cell phones and insurance. And so it was kind of, but yeah, going out and concerts and eating out. And hey, what's going on? Heidi and George have a great, it is Labor Day. Is they consider this Labor Day weekend? With it being said, because Monday, I guess they do. Do they consider that? Because Labor Day, I believe, is Monday.
So yeah, it's Labor Day weekend.
So yeah, everybody's yeah. Yeah, so that's what they do. Yes, enjoy. Enjoy. Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't know anybody making $32 an hour, even in their wildest dream, now or then. So that before tax, that would have to start at 32, and they're not talking about after taxes.
Okay, so okay, again, now, for example, this is a good example. In 2024, this was last year. The average, okay, forget median. Medium is another word for medium, or which means average. Okay? Average individual income. Keyword individual, not family income. Individual income. It's 62,000. Now, this was last year, so obviously I'm not current right now.
Yeah, to give an ideal, minimum wage, give or take, is $13 an hour. Let's see, increase 14 an hour. So what? Minimum wage 13, 14, 15 an hour in some states.
Well, what I'm getting at is okay. Again, I'm not sure where if again, I haven't been in the U.S. in a while, obviously. Um,
Yeah, it says average salary in Florida is about 49,000.
okay,
Median is 46. So 62 is. Go ahead. Sorry.
no, it's fine. Now, again, what I'm getting at is again, the numbers that you hear, what's reality, and what these numbers are, don't necessarily mean actual reality. They don't usually match. And I'm not
It's in the same
judging. I'm
here.
not arguing. These are facts. Again, I remember when I was in the U.S., the median income was 55,000, and I would consider myself above average. And out of
Yeah, it's
out
there.
of
A lot of people
everybody,
are.
yeah,
It's
out of
Googled.
everybody I knew, and my close friends were up there with me, and there's only like 7 of us. Everybody else is below that. And what I'm getting at is, so where did these numbers come from? If I'm above average, I'm not the median anymore. Get it? That's my point. Is be careful of these numbers. And
It's the same
I'm not
here.
going to argue again about numbers and statistics because again, I'm I'm going to tell you right now, statistics are usually off. These numbers are not usually accurate, and if I'm not going to defend that statement, if you have to argue with me, then that means you need to do more research. But
Yeah,
anyway,
like here, he's saying average salary in Cebu is 390, which would put you at about 20,000 pesos. I would not say the average Filipino in Cebu is making 20,000 a month. 20,000 pesos. That's not everybody there.
Well,
They're,
and
they
like I
could be
said,
making way
even
less.
all
And in
statistics, doesn't matter what
Manila,
country.
that would put you
It
at 25,000.
it
The
doesn't
average Filipino is not making 25,000 pesos in Manila.
right. It doesn't matter what country it is. Statistics are is a hypothesis. It's guesswork. These are not real numbers. Okay. Again,
Yeah.
don't take my word
And
for it.
it's not who you're hanging out with. It's not because we live in a certain area.
Yeah.
It's all the way across the board. As a matter of fact, it gets way worse when you go out in the provinces. Soon as you live, like right now, with us in Mabalacat, a few miles from Angeles and the airport, the moment we go 5 miles that way, the wages drop.
Put it this way.
Prices
Okay.
stay the same as far as
Here's
groceries, but it's not.
here's a simple. This is not an analogy. This is actual fact. I believe this was taken about 3 years ago. People who cannot live without internet is 83%. Okay. Here's a simple example of statistics. Again, you don't have to argue with me, but here's an example. 83% of people cannot live without internet. Okay. And guess where this survey came from? The internet. Which
Yeah,
means
can't believe anything anymore.
everybody else who doesn't have internet aren't in that survey. So therefore, that number is already wrong. Get it? Same
Is
thing
that
with
kind of like
with
where
unemployment, with salaries and everything. These numbers are only coming from people who report and answer the surveys, aka
Ruby?
But
Ruby's funny. She said, "Hey, you do stuff, spread rumors.
yeah,
I'm just a
point
hard
point being
worker
is
that
again,
planned for my retirement."
statistics
Yes, you're one of the
is
top
guesswork,
1%
guys. Again,
or 2%. So some people did, but you don't think me and George didn't? We were hard workers. We saved our money. Big time shit came up. You just got lucky. Because there's no way you can cover every single thing and always have something. We've just been hit by a lot of things. Yeah, no, I mean, it's just where it is. No offense. There's only a percentage of people that have it like that, and it's just where it is. I mean, we've had major stuff hit us both in the last 10, 15 years. And so unfortunately, when you get wiped out over and over again, it's bad. So life happens. Guys go through divorces. We've been through divorces. You go through businesses, and not everybody comes up ahead. I was never ahead in my life, never started, and so definitely worked hard. So there's no doubt. There's a big, is it called disconcern or of people that end up on disability or Social Security only or disability through the military that they never worked. They worked a few years in the military and they never had any other life before. That's not true either. So same with the homeless. It doesn't mean that they were just bums to be bums. That guy that got thrown out, well, there were several of them in the story. The 80-year-old that got hit, the 80-year-old that got hit in the United States, she was living with her sister. Her sister went into the group home, worked her entire life, nothing but work, and average work like me, never claimed to be anything fancy. And as soon as her sister went in the home because of her dementia, she ended up homeless. There's no way for her to pay the bills on her own, not in this day and age. And then the other guy was the same thing. His spouse died. And then he ended up at a bus stop. He had to gather what he could with his son and dog, and they left. And he had lived out on the street. A guy that worked his entire life. But it started initially where his eyesight went out and he could no longer work himself. Then he was back with just his pension and money, and then his spouse passed away. When all these things happen and you start spending money all the time at hotels or all the things trying to put your life back together or medical issues, we can't all survive like that. It's sorry. It's called life. And only a percentage of people end up on top where they had 300,000 and sorry. We did save. We did have 401ks. It just life happens. Look at George all broken. I'm sorry. I'll go out and hustle for you and get you some money, babe.
yeah. Okay. Well, actually, no. I was thinking about this.
Which one? This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, like a spot says, okay, in the U.S., pros,
Socialism.
there's protection against age discrimination. It doesn't mean it doesn't happen. Cons, like my mom, she's still working for hospitality in in her 70s. Okay,
Yeah.
now remember the key word here is business, and what I'm getting at is age discrimination has. I'd hate to say this again. Hashtag cancel George. Okay,
Right.
age discrimination has a place in business, and again, hashtag cancel George. You guys may not agree with me, but here's the thing. For example, if you have a movie theater, okay, and a bunch of fogies or Q-tips or older people work everything, the line, the concession stand, the tickets. You think kids would want to come there? And because they feel that, oh, this place is for older people, okay? Um, think of it as same thing of a strip club. I'm giving you extreme examples here. A strip club with older people, okay? Because there are older strippers out there. Do you think they would get the younger crowd? Of course not. What I'm saying is business. I don't agree with it, but I understand that age discrimination. For example, do you want like a 60-year-old warehouse guy? The one that lifts boxes and stuff.
Hmm.
Would you run one? Okay, two things about that one. One, you're liable for it. Would that would be in your conscience too? That's number two. So one, is he a liability? And then if something happens to him, is that okay with your conscience? So you have to, you know, again, I'm not for age discrimination, but you have to understand it too. That there's places for it. Business
Hmm.
is business. They're there to make money, not make friends. Okay, again, hashtag cancel George. Um, I hate to say this.
Well,
Businesses have, to a certain degree, have the right. Now, for example, there's certain areas where I have a friend of mine. He was a bank manager, successful bank manager, made tons of money as a bank manager because bank managers make a lot of money. They fired him. Why? Because he's old. But and then you're like, okay, well, that's a job of experience, right? You want an older person. Well, you know what? You know why? Because in the end, if you're a businessman and you're like most businessmen nowadays are within 30 years old, and then they see the 60-year-old businessman.
which has consequences too, because
No,
if
no,
they
no.
can't get another job, they could have a hundred
I
thousand in the
I
bank, and
I
in a year and a half, they can burn through their money.
I understand that. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But you have to remember, I'm just giving you the other side of the coin.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, but for the most part, most of the reason why they age discriminate, I'm talking about most of the time they discriminate because of, for example, Walmart. Do you know?
Well, there's age discrimination everywhere.
Right, I know that. Well, I'm just saying, like for example, Walmart in the U.S. obviously because there's no Walmart here. Um, the older people are the greeters,
Yeah,
but they
I'm
don't
kind
want
of.
them working the floor because the
No,
floor is where.
yeah, there is. I'm trying to figure where that ties in with the homelessness and money and jobs, and I mean, I get that part of it, which will cause them to go through their
No, no,
savings
no. The age discrimination because
because they don't get their Social
we
Security
mentioned
anymore.
it earlier because here
They
it's
have it,
18
yeah,
to 30. Yes, again,
yeah, for you getting a job,
right here. Once you're 30, you're at the cusp of kind of get retired out of the workforce.
yeah. And
Yeah.
a lot of people here, the pensions are really low. In the US, a lot of these people are losing jobs at 55 before they're 60. So then they start going through their savings. And some of them don't have proper medical because they got X amount in their savings and possibly the other one's working. You can get stripped of your money 101 ways up your ass till Tuesday situation. I just seen where Thera was talking about college. Both me and George have kids. It wasn't cheap, for certain situations either. It's just, I'm really. It's not that it's, oh, Heidi's just hating on people because they had their life together, or they had money. It's not that we were living dirt poor. Could we have put away more money? Probably not. And businesses aren't easy either. You realize how many guys get here and they lose their certain businesses, or they lose their certain businesses in the United States? They don't tend to make money, especially when you have a pizza restaurant or other things that go on. It just strips the money, the startup costs. I'm sure your business did it. How long did it take initially your business to make a profit? It was almost 10 years.
Oh, no, no, no. Well, the business has been running longer than that. But no, 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 no. Okay, in any business, okay, I'm not saying that's what you're gonna do. In any business, it's the most feasible thing is minimally don't expect a profit from your business at least a year. No, but no, the business made money after 6 months. But still, 6 months with zero income is bad. What I'm saying is, a lot of people don't realize when you start a business, you don't make money for a long time.
It's kind of out there,
And
LG.
remember, it's negative. What I'm saying is, you're not making money, but you still have to live and pay the bills. You know what I'm saying? So basically, you have to survive for 6 months for your entire family. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
And run the business. You know what I'm saying?
I guess he was responding about travel or something. But George will need to apply. Yeah, of course. He's been out of the country for 5 years, so of course, yeah. And he may not be allowed to enter. I don't know about that, but I mean, it's like everybody else. But there's no intentions to go back. But he can still return. So I'm not sure how long cards are valid or so. The end of homeless and broke and end up overstaying their visa. Yeah, most definitely. So trying to find an option for Skype phone to suck. Any suggestions? There are a couple. Contact, or I've got your contact. I'll send you some of what we're doing. What was the original one that we had? But once the cards were invalid in the U.S., they won't let me sign up here. That service isn't here. We only had it because it was on the iPhone, but it won't allow me to. So, what we're currently doing is we have like an online phone card situation that we do some calls, or we use everything. Most everybody we deal with through Messenger and everything else. But yeah, I'll talk with you on that one later. So, any suggestions on that besides?
I'm not quite sure what the whole
Well, when he says,
situation is. Because phone two is kind of like that. Doesn't sound like a whole
is
sentence to me.
well, I think he's talking about, is that like for validation of your bank? It depends on how far. If you're just trying to call the average thing, it just depends. There are several things with your phone. Some people just keep the service, and then for us, we use like Signal, we use Messenger. And if we're looking to do, we don't have to do anything with the bank anymore. The one phone thing that we had once we killed the last bank account over there, then we weren't able to use that service because it was strictly through the US. So
Yeah,
there are where you can establish the phones and stuff.
yeah.
Oh,
I,
okay. All right. We're just discussing the phone thing. So we were just discussing the different types of phones. So no, I mean, I get that part of it. So yeah, so just get with me and I'll tell you the two or three different things. He was just discussing the VPN, and he's not sure what you're talking about.
who came with $300 US?
That Dizuko kid on 90 Day, the one that disrespected the family initially, and they're the ones that lived on the cell phones together. He only had $300 when he arrived. He was 24 years old, real young kid, no job, no nothing. They've done three or four businesses now, him and his wife. They decided to have a kid. They're still broke. They're not even. They didn't even renew with 90-day. Now they're just living on all social media, which is evidently not a whole bunch. But they opened a sorry store. They've tried everything, but yeah, he only had $300. Really, he had nothing when he arrived, and she was pregnant within 30 days. Everything. So uh, I can't even think of his first name anymore. It's kind of crazy. And there are people that just arrive living on their credit cards.
Chosen one says Heidi dissed me.
Hell yeah, I did. Yo. There are people, Ruby, that come here with nothing. They've got their plane tickets and that's it. And they come here and they don't realize the cost. So they prepay for their hotel. They come in and they got it set up. They're not even aware where their hotels are situation. And then they live on credit cards and then they decide to stay. And then they get this girlfriend and let me apply for a visa. They come in with zero plans and they've been watching all these channels all these years. I get love and life happens.
Okay, well,
That's
here's
for
the
sure.
thing, and this is why we kind of take this seriously. For example, if an expat is thinking of moving to the Philippines, or for example, this guy in the 90-day fiance, I guarantee you, he YouTubed everything. And let's say, again, I'm not saying he did see us, but let's say he did. Okay, just an example. He came across our channel and we say, oh no, you need to move in there. You need at least 1,500 minimum to go to the Philippines and live there, yada, yada, yada. And then you have these frickers that just say, oh, all you need is 300. Who do you think he's going to listen to? Listen to us that say you need 1,500 minimally, or that asshole that says, oh, all you need is 300, bro?
Government pension, huh? How
Yeah.
long you think those people are holding on to them government jobs in America now? Time to clean house of them lazy bums. Okay, George, get a government job here, get a government job there. I don't know. No, that's true on that. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Jojo wasn't the greatest immigrant. Greatest immigrant? He's being called the greatest homeless TikToker of all time situation.
Well, okay. Again, not judging him or anything, but, and I say but, if he was decent in the US, I guarantee you he would have a decent tattoo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He looked like he did that himself, but there's a lot of them like
Yeah, I
that.
mean, I don't think that's a prison tat, but it's borderline. And what I'm saying is, if he's somewhat like an upstanding, decent citizen who had a great job and everything, he would have a legit tattoo. But that's not a legit tattoo, man.
I got one word to sum up George's family. You ready?
What?
They bougie.
What?
Bougie.
Okay,
Deny that one.
I'm not gonna deny it.
Okay. Then just, I mean, I guess I should be lucky. So if I need a loan, I just show. That's when I show up. Is when I need money. I like to knock on the door. Dun, 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 dun. I need some money. Matter of fact, that's my retirement plan. I'm just going to move on into the family house. You can see that happening, right?
Joseph, hey Joseph, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's going on? Voila is nothing. Yeah. Thank you so much, chosen one. Not. You still not forgiven.
Huh?
You got to come see me.
What are you talking about?
We got to get chosen one over here for barbecue. I'm a barbecue chosen one. Thank you so much, chosen one.
Oh, thanks so much,
Appreciate it.
chosen one.
Well, it's kind of hard. Like right now, I'm intentionally leaving the black down on it, and I had the headband on it earlier, and I want to order some more wigs, but right now I'm broke. George's been spending all the money on tennis shoes and cat food. I see your girl over there.
And Walking Street.
And Red Street, yeah. I love the Philippines. People are great. The country sucks, yeah. That is no secret.
Wait,
Filipinos
who is this?
have been trying. That's baby girl stretched out. She looks different, doesn't she? One of the kittens is here, and she's officially about 7 months old. And when she stretches out, it doesn't even look like her when she's sleeping and all stretched out. Because we have three of the calicos, and they pretty much have almost the same patterns when you see their backs. No, that's baby
Yeah, but
girl.
TT
And
is
Geo is sick. I've been keeping an eye on him. He's barely been eating, and he had a vaccination the other day, and he's been sick. So it's the black cat that we named after Geo, but he's not been. I knew when he was laying around for a couple days he was sick, but I'm giving him. He's getting different medicines right now, and they just got wormed again. And the wormer is a flea pill. It's an all-in-one, so I gave George one of them too. I said, "What the hell?" When he was taking a nap and he was half asleep, I dropped one in his mouth too. It's just ivermectin. It won't hurt him. It'll kill any of them itchies you have.
I love the Philippines. The people are great. Country sucks. There's no secret. Filipinos have been trying to escape for decades. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. It looks like the only America that Filipinos will be traveling to right now would be Mexico
Right. I wouldn't risk it. The
or
fact,
Canada. I guess that's still North America.
would you consider going back, like at this point, to go there for a few weeks to visit the family?
Huh?
Would you go back to visit the U.S. right now?
Unless I have to.
Right. You want to escape? You're a
No.
free man. You're a free bird. Geez, there are a lot of jobs in Makati Avenue. He could easily find something. Honestly, I think there are more jobs than people are thinking there are. It's not the easiest for expats. But again, once you get over the age, like George said, over 30, 35, they're just hiring. Some of the requirements that I've seen recently for jobs are insane.
Well,
Like,
I get.
single must be 18 to 22. I mean, some of the eight, they want them young and look, they want them
Well,
TikTok ability. Like,
correct. That's
they
another
really,
thing. I mean,
some of them do TikToks on the jobs. And like the trike company that sold our trikes, they do TikToks and live streams all the time inside of the business. And I just think that they
just
want
think
them.
about like a business owner again. I'm not trying to judge
Oh, I know, old,
anybody.
ugly person.
Just think for a second that you own a business. Let's say you own a construction business and you need 5 working hands today. You see Jojo, would you take him?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not judging him because remember,
Well, it's just.
well, what I'm saying is out of 30, probably about 10 of them would look like Jojo, but you only need 5 of them.
Yeah, you're gonna take somebody younger.
You're gonna
I'm
take somebody
sorry,
younger, of course.
unfortunately,
And again,
yeah.
I'm not promoting ageism, but
You're
as
right,
a
LJ.
business owner, that's where you would go.
And you're correct. Real numbers in the Philippines, the income is more like 10 to 15. That's probably what 80% of the country. It's kind of like the upper percentage of expats that arrive here. The realistic incomes. It kind of blows my mind when I hear a Filipina say, "I'd love to make 30,000 pesos a month," which is about $600 US. And it's like, because that's not really. They're talking about raising families on that amount. And high school graduate and college graduates or college graduates are a real thing. A lot of these positions at restaurants want you to have that. And so it is rougher. So yeah. Yeah, the exchange is somewhere between there, 54, 57. So, but remember, you never get that 57. Anytime I take money out of the bank that is deposit, like Social Security, they get their pinch. It
Well,
gets
anywhere you
exchanged
never get the
into.
full rate. I mean,
No. So if you see that it's 57 online is the real thing, a lot of those exchange places are what, doing 54, 53. And watch, the closer you get to districts of like where the expats or tourist areas, it'll drop even more.
yeah, it'll get worse. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. No law in most Asian countries, age discrimination, race discrimination. Yeah. It's yeah. You have to take into account that 1900 is average. There are more making less in areas. Yeah, 1200. Yeah, 1200 on Social Security. There's some getting 6, 7, and 8 as a regular. It's because of their working time and their last quarters. And then scary is the ones that are on direct SSI, which is the welfare side. So they just think based on information they've seen online, that they can live on that low income welfare side that they didn't even earn, and they just take off out of the country beyond 30 or 60 days. You can't collect it anymore. And they sit over here because they have a deposit in the United States, or families getting their mail. The first time you don't answer any of the mail, their crap gets cut off, and that happens quite often too. Look at Pigsy sleeping. Pigsy's over there sleeping. Hey Dexter, what is going on? Houses seem to be expensive in the US. Yeah. Hey, have a great Labor Day weekend. AI Coconut
Bye,
Guys in the
coconut guy.
house. Ruby is saying age pension in Australia is 67. I'm going to be self funded in retirement. I retire at 60. I'm not going to work to 67 just to receive a government pension. Yeah, who knows how long a person will live. Yeah,
No, yeah, I
that's what
agree.
we said, that
I've been
if
telling you.
there are some people that await that additional couple years for their Social Security. They've already got pensions and everything, and we're like, well, if you're making your plan, people calculate and try to figure that out. So that is really great. Yeah, I wish. George Lottery is 950 million. Man, we would just fight over that. Everything bad that could possibly happen, it would be the lottery curse. I like being broke and living with George. Small. I mean, little. Umcot, no raincoat. No, I said no raincoat. I like living little, babe. Living little in the Philippines. No, no. Here, let me touch your junk.
Right? Um,
I like living little in the Philippines, but I got
no,
AC and
no, 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 no. The
coffee and
reason
my little
I'm thinking, because
Filipino.
there's certain
I got
states in
coffee
the
and
U.S.
AC and my little
where you're
Filipino.
allowed to have anonymity whenever you win the lotto, and there's certain states that you're not allowed to have it. And what I'm saying is and
What
in
is
those
it here?
states,
I think you
they,
have to just.
yeah, they publish it,
Mhm.
and that's bad news. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Interesting on this. Just went to the Philippine bank yesterday and asked if it's possible for my husband to open up an account without the ACR. You were told yes at the
Yeah,
discretion. Correct.
discretion of the
Yeah.
bank manager. Yes.
Yeah. And I wasn't able to. We went to several banks. That's why all the initial accounts were in George's name. That's why we kept them all in the US for a while. After I got my permanent residency.
Well, you could, but it's always up. Okay, correction. It's up to, you need two bank manager signatures for an approval. To clarify that, Ruby, you need
Nope,
two
that
bank
is, I
manager,
agree.
an assistant, and the bank manager. You need two signatures to approve it. But usually, when the actual bank manager says yes, then the other one will follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you call 50 pesos to the US, the budget is always fine. With the exchange, it helps. With rent being cheap, it's everything else that wipes people out. Emergency medical, emergencies for a car, because a lot of the expats will get a car, that'll wipe them out. And then the other part of it is food. Their Western lifestyle will wipe them out. That's what actually kills people here. And then the moment they get into hard times or bad times with their girlfriends or something, it just becomes too much. And so, but yeah, kind of. But the hardest, you can live as bougie and as poor as you want, like these guys that'll go into Tondo and stuff. But rents tend to be cheap. They're going up. We've watched them the last couple of years go up, but groceries is really, for the Philippines, is really starting to go up on everything. Other items are going up too. So Victoria says she's got 2 more years for age pension. Yeah, George's got about 19. All right, guys, that's it. We're gonna call it quits. Say goodbye, Dr. Jones. Say goodbye, Dr. Jones.
Hmm?
It is 11:07. We are 2 hours into this live stream, and I'm starting lunch.
Yossi Capote.
Yo, si, capote. I'm gonna do that when I walk the dog. Matter of fact, I'm gonna say that on the way up to get your lunch here today.
Yossi
Namaste, capote.
Capote.
Okay, one more time.
Yossi Si Capote.
With that, yo si popote. Now I got something to talk to your mom about next time we're on the phone. No raincoat. Oh, I forgot to say no raincoat. All right, guys, take care, guys. She's here. It's nap time. They chased all morning, ran across my feet, ripped them up. But there's a big aisle here, and somehow sitting at this table desk thing we got going on, they managed to hit my feet every freaking time, and it feels like somebody stabbed me with a knife every time they run across them. But really, it's just them playing around. They wore themselves
Yeah.
out.
Now socks and sandals again. Like I said, I was able to open a video bank account.
You trying to hit 2 minutes and 15?
No. I was just trying on a tourist visa back. Definitely can. Technically, again, you can.
Yeah.
You can always can. But again, in the end, you need two signatures: the bank manager and the bank manager and the
I know during the
assistant bank
pandemic
manager.
they weren't, so I gave up after 2
But
times.
will they? That's a different story. But technically, you can open up any account. But the reason why they don't is, for instance, if you're like you're laundering money, obviously that falls on the managers that sign off on you. That's why they don't.
Yeah.
But can they? Yes, they can.
All right. Good night, Harry, and thank you for the
Yeah, thanks
sticker
so
money,
much,
chosen
Bad
one, and
Boy.
bad
Thank you
boy.
so much.
And who's our top commenters today?
Okay, number 1 is Bad Boy. Okay, number 2 is Chosen One.
Ah, chosen one.
Oh, Thara, you're number 3.
Sarah, and of course, we had Ruby that did a lot of good
Thank you so
commenting,
much,
and
Ruby, Victoria,
Victoria,
Victor C,
Sarah,
AI Coconut
bye.
Guy,
Hello
and
to
Sarah
Ted.
Tyson.